That's not going anywhere.
idcwoodcraft.com.
Hey CNC peeps, it's Liberty with IDC Woodcraft. Welcome back to the channel, and today's project, we're going to be working with vacuuming / dust collection. That's right, we're making a homemade vacuum table. For this vacuum station, I'm going to be needing to drill a lot of holes, but I'm going to skip this step and make it a lot easier on myself by using the IDC Woodcraft lightning bit on my CNC. You may have heard of vacuum tables to hold down your projects on your CNC, but today we're going to use the CNC to make the vacuum table for the rest of the shop, and we'll leave those fancy vacuum tables to the experts over at Airweights. I've added a secondary sacrificial spoil board because we're going to be drilling all the way through this just to avoid all the dimples on my main spoil board today. I've used X-Fasten woodworking tape to attach this piece to my spoil board and this piece to that spoil board. So I guess it's quadruple taped now. While you absolutely can use an upcut bit for a drilling toolpath, it takes twice as long and you have to use the pecking toolpath to do your best to ensure that you're not starting any fires or burning up your wood or bit. Whatever you do, don't ever, positively never use a downcut bit on a drilling toolpath. Using a bit like the IDC Woodcraft drilling bit made specifically for CNC routers ensures efficiency and safety in your drilling process on your CNC. There are 3 ways I could go about creating the Vectric file for this project. The first one, I'm going to draw out a little bitty square to give you an example. Now in this 5-inch square, I've placed 1 circle, and now I'm going to bring in some guidelines, and then select that circle, place it in the middle there. After we copy paste that, I'm going to move it down 1 inch in the Y direction. Copy, paste. Now we're going to move it -1 in the Y direction. And we're going to copy, paste, -1 in the Y direction again. Why did that not? Once again, we're going to Control C, Control V. And since I messed that one up, we'll just move that one up 1 inch. And that's just 1 row completed. How long did that take? Okay, second method, because I'm tired of this one. Another example for method 1, I would have to put in guidelines for each variant that I've got going on here. So I've got a line going this direction, and then this line is going this direction, but it's slightly up, so I'd have to adjust my guidelines to accommodate for that. Method number 2 we could use to go about creating this toolpath, drawing lines across. Once we create that line, we're going to use the Copy Along Vectors tool. We're going to first select what we want to copy, Shift, select the line, and we can choose either distance between copies or number of copies. We're going to do 1 inch and copy. And that gave us a bit of funky results. Now we're going to delete the original and then move that line up 1 inch and repeat that step again until it's completed. Or method number 3, the most efficient and my personal favorite, the array toolpath. And with method number 2, I again would have to create secondary lines going at different lengths and different start points in order to array those circles across those points and then repeat those up as well. For that third and final method, I'm going to be using the array toolpath. I've got my circle selected here in the corner. I'm going to be doing 18 rows and 12 columns. And then down in the row/column displacement, I'm going to put a 1 inch positive displacement in the X direction. And then all of those circles are grouped I'm gonna go ahead and make sure those are centered on the board. Yeah, because they looked a little off. But my placement looks good. I like that space between the edges of the board and when the holes start. So I'm ready to create a toolpath out of this. As we jump right over to the toolpath here, Vectric makes it super easy and there is a drill toolpath built right in. So I'm going to be using that and going through the settings there. Seems like the perfect time to use a drilling toolpath. And we've got that 1/4 inch lightning drill bit in there. We're cutting 3/4 of an inch. We are not selecting peck drilling. Is there really an importance in spelling when it comes to naming your files? Maybe. I did go ahead and select use vector selection order to make sure that's going to go in a nice straight line instead of bouncing all over the board, which is going to speed up our machining time. All right, here goes nothing. Whew, that scared me. Okay. Whew. Okay. Okay. You can see these chips are ejecting beautifully. It is going in and out smoothly in one draw. No smoke, no burning left behind. Another bonus is it's really quiet. I actually experienced that when doing my cribbage board as well, didn't I? It got really quiet. No! Ouchie! Ouchie wawa. There's gotta be a better way to... Okay, there we go. Okay. There we go. Yay! It made it through all of the holes. It worked exactly as I expected it to. We've just got some little dimples all throughout, none of them impacting my working spoil board. I can surface this down and reuse it later, but now I don't have to resurface my entire spoil board yet. For the box portion of this sanding station that we're creating, I'm gonna be using 2x4s, but I need to create a hole for my vacuum to slip through. I'm going to be using the edge hugger clamps from ToolQuest that you can only get at idcwoodcraft.com. These are low profile, high hold down clamps. As you can see, I've got this rounded edge on a 2x4 and it's able to grip that just fine, even with a minuscule hold onto the top of the project. These little clamps are perfect for nearly any project to keep yourself from running into your bits or ruining your bits by running into harder clamping methods like aluminum. And you can get yours at idcwoodcraft.com or in the link below. I'm going to be using the 1/4 inch upcut and mill from IDC Woodcraft. I've chosen this bit. I could have kept it with the drill bit, but as you can see, it's got a slight point to do that effective down and up drilling, and I don't want to deal with that. So I'm okay with doing just a little bit of sanding on this top edge to use this upcut bit to shoot all of those chips out as efficiently as possible. You can get yourself a 1/4 inch upcut bit in the links below or at idcwoodcraft.com. Yep, my heart's racing. I think we're ready to go. I'm scared. Probably should have set the safe Z on that one a little bit higher, but we made it. Now just do a little bit of clean out. Ooh, she's warm down in there. Perfect. Now to see if it's actually perfect. And let's see if I got my measurements right. Like a glove. Look at that. The top is all assembled. Now I'm ready to seal this up so we actually have some sort of a vacuum chamber going on. I'm using this scrap because it's scrap, so good way to seal it up. I've coated it with like 20 layers of sanding sealer to get the best seal possible on the MDF, as well as on the inside here, I've put silicone and 4 coats of clear matte spray paint to seal everything up. On the top here, I'm just gonna take this 2x4 to kind of give me a guideline of where the 2x4s are gonna sit. And this is the scrap not only from us drilling these holes, but from my shaper video. And if you want to check that out, you can click right here somewhere. So I had to get a new tube, but the sealant that I'm using is a 100% waterproof clear silicone all-purpose. I chose this because it seemed like the best method to get a good seal along there, and I could play with it and still have a good clean line. So when I flip this over, it's not gonna really be affected by that as far as affecting the seal. This is stinky, dude. I wanna make sure I get a really good seal on this because the goal is to create a vacuum chamber. That's why we're adding a bottom to it, so it's not just this open cast air thing that has all these gaps along whatever table it's sitting on. By adding the bottom and adding this extra seal, the goal, as I said, is to create more so of a chamber to where all of the air flows straight through the holes and to the vacuum. After all, a vacuum chamber without a bottom is just a prison for sawdust. Okay, this stuff is way stinkier than I expected. I'm putting my mask on. Please don't come for me in the comments. Okay. Ooh. That's okay. We'll have some slide. Oh, okay. Actually, maybe we won't. Maybe I'll place it down exactly where it needs to be. For the first time in forever. Let's try one and see what happens. That's like my last famous words or something. I did not win. Ah! Ah! It keeps blurping on me. The CNC project is finished, Batman. So it doesn't have any hold down section, but the texture of the MDF with the sanding sealer on it actually is giving me a bit of a grip. Obviously not right now, but while I'm doing it, I don't know if it's the vibrations, what's matching up, but it did hold everything pretty steady. And I was able to move away from the areas of dust and debris and then get that to sweep down into it. So overall, I'm fairly impressed. Definitely need some improvements. If you have any ideas on how I could improve this project, comment down below. If you liked this video and want to come back for more, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to see us next time. Learn more now. Go to woodcraftresources.com.